Now, I'm not saying land ownership isn't important, but if you are a beginning farmer, what's going on, guys? I'm not sure if the groundhog saw its shadow or not this year. It's already starting to feel like it's going to be early spring. But let's talk about how to find lease property. All right, so what you want to do is you want to drive for dollars. Hop in your car and hit county back roads, and you want to find dilapidated properties. If there's a pine tree going through a barn, perfect. If the fences are torn down, even better. Now, from there, what you want to do is you want to try to find a mailbox to this property. If there's not a mailbox on the property, it's not the end of the world. What you want to do is you want to locate the road that this property sits on and find landmarks. After you have identified the name of the road and found landmarks, from there, all we want to do is go to our local county tax assessor's website. Every county in America has one. From there, you will be given a search tool that will give you a Google's Earth version map of that county. Now, if you found the address, this is going to make this process a lot easier. But if it's not, that's why we tried to locate the landmarks before. If you found the address, type in the address into the search bar. If you didn't find the address, those landmarks I was telling you about, let's say you found a church that sat on the left side of the road and there was a gas station 3 miles from that road. All we're going to do is we're going to go down that road and we're going to try to locate the gas station, and then we're going to try to locate the church. And then from there, it will give us a rough estimate of where this property sits. After you click on the property on the tax assessor's website, you will be given the name of the property owner. Depending on the county, depending on the state, it may have a phone number, it may have that landowner's address, maybe an email address. From there, all we're going to do is we're going to send texts, make phone calls, write letters, send emails, basically saying, hey, my name is so-and-so. I'm a goat producer in whatever county you live in. I passed by your property the other day and I was wondering if you would be willing to lease it to me. You would be surprised at how many property owners would be willing to lease these properties to you for little to nothing. My first ever lease property just so happened to be a guy who lost his dad 10 years prior. And unfortunately, what ended up happening was the land was too much for him to manage and it got out of control and he had no way of managing the land. Between work, life, and not having heavy equipment, he wasn't able to properly manage the property. So over time, the property got ahead of him. Again, it was his dad's piece of property, and there were sentimental values where he didn't want to sell the property because of all his memories, but he was willing to lease the land to me for me to manage the land. And at the time, I was raising pigs, goats, and chickens. And if you raise goats, you know goats are perfect for managing land, eating brush and stuff like that. So it was a win-win for both of us. I covered his property taxes for a year, and in turn, he allowed me to raise goats on his property. And that turned into a very fruitful relationship. And that lease went on for about 3 years before I outgrew that property and found a bigger place. But after I left the land better than what I found it. Now, I'm not saying land ownership isn't important, but if you are a beginning farmer, try to find leased property first, then prove that you can make money farming. Make sure that you enjoy farming. I can't tell you how many beginning farmers that I've spoken to who they see YouTube videos, they want to pursue this lifestyle, but only to get in for 6 months to a year, realize that work, life, and farming is a lot more work than what we make it look like on YouTube. So if you're a beginning farmer, try to find leased property first. Maybe find a mentor that you can raise goats on their property. That's your best bet compared to going into $600,000 worth of debt, only to realize within a year, I don't actually enjoy farming.